Here's a review of my guitar after a month. The pick guard is extremely soft, and even from my fingernails has taken quite a lot of scratches. The finish too is very soft. I don't know if they're gonna show up, but I mean, normal pick guards, we're talking just if I were to just lightly rub it like this, it would leave off a scratch. As with any Martin, you need to humidify them, of course. Since I've been living in my car the last 2 weeks, you can see that crack has developed from my inability to humidify it consistently well living in a car. However, the top itself on this guitar is not cracked. It's still beautiful. This is an easy fix. So, thing with with a high glue guitars, there are things that are going to happen. You just accept it and work with the instrument, repair it as you can. Notice, because these are all handmade, they have all these little flaws, and nothing wrong with that. But the weirdest thing that I have found is that in a month, let's see if I'll pick up here. I'm next to a lake right now, but you can see the original. That's the patina from the. I don't know if they call it aging, but it's just generally a lack of buffing to the finish. It's just fine because these are so thin. The finishes are extraordinarily thin that you will actually buff the finish yourself. Look at that. That's from me playing it. I've buffed the neck in a spot where I lay my head on the shoulder of the guitar. So like, just from me wiping it, keeping it clean, it's gone from that unreflective matte to a nice shiny buffing. So you see the back worked a little bit because I let it get way too dry, but it's doing just fine. The tuners, I've changed the strings 3 times. These Waverleys, while they are really nice tuners, because of whatever specs they're using, the headstocks, the holes as it shrunk from lack of humidity, it displaced the inserts. And the original prewar Martins, there's no way people kept those things humidified throughout the decades. It takes a long time for a guitar to settle. And so, that sort of wear and tear is just part of the process for a guitar like this. You expect it. And I just find that so weird. That's how soft these finishes are. They're extremely soft. I've never seen a finish on a guitar this soft before. And you can see here, this is where I left my face. I rest my face on here when I play. What the hell is going on with my phone? And compared to like over here versus over here, look how much more reflective it is. So that shoulder is buffed from the last month of me playing it and resting my head there. And I've played it at least 200 hours in the last month. See, 30 days. more than 6 hours a day, basically. So I put it through its paces, and it sounds just incredible. What you can do with these is modify tone based on humidity level as well. But some of the craftsmanship, you can see here, that right there, I can only conclude that's a sanding mark. It's got to be sanding, which should not be there. And it's all over the sides too. This guitar, for the price, however, you do get an extraordinary sound. The craftsmanship could be better. With hand bent sides, the sides are always going to be a little, they're going to have their little bits of, it's not going to ever be perfectly flat. The finish is so thin on these two, so that increases resonance and tonal quality. The binding hasn't split, but you can see, like right there, should have focused, how it has come off just ever so slightly from the wood. Which, thankfully, this is a hide glue guitar, so that, it's just going to separate from the body and it's not going to resist that and then destroy the top. Hide glue is always repairable. It's so easy to fix. But it warns you, you have to keep these at 45 to 55% humidity. But like I said, the originals were never kept humidified. You know it. They were never kept perfectly humidified over. A lot of those guitars ended up in the backwoods. And that's where flat picking came from. But this guitar is absolutely worth it. If you want a guitar that sounds pure and like $1 million, I mean, it just sounds like, it sounds better than anything else out there, other than there are other guitars that can keep up with this tonal quality and do their own thing, but another thing I found that I thought was really, really funny, the center line. So my phone, it's a little, just ever so slightly off, little quirks like that. You can see gap there for the glue. But I tell you, this guitar sounds, I have no complaints of it tonally though. I love the back. Just what you're getting yourself into when you buy one of these. Maybe you can see the warping, the slight warping. Maybe it was always there and I just didn't notice it, but I came back, I opened the case the other day and this was like lumped up down and this came out and I was like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? at the arch that's put in when they built these. It's kind of changed a bit. But he said you can hear it. It sounds lovely. It's the most beautiful sounding guitar. So, you know, all the little things just give it character. And the originals, the ones, this finish, this cracks me up. I mean, how shiny that is. And you touch it too and it's buffed now. You touch over here and it's still matte. Somebody get some Meguiar's and polish it, but I've never had a guitar that sounds this perfect. It's so beautiful sounding. And with a guitar like this, because the original pre-wars were abused, you know, they were. They sound so good that you just know that just because this guitar might have a little bit of an issue here and there. Sure, it's only been a month, but Colorado is just ruthless on guitars, and no matter what goes wrong with it, you're going to be able to fix it easily. If you know how to work with high glue, it's 10 times easier to work with an aliphatic resin. And the whole goal is keep the action good and keep the braces from coming loose and keep the top from splitting. That's your main goal. The rest of it needs to be abused, otherwise how is it going to sound like the originals? Something about all that stress just made them sound even better for some reason.